My colleague Uma and Ashish still with us. Ashish, we're hearing that perhaps 12 devotees have lost their lives in the stampede. As of now, the death toll has risen, is what we're hearing. Take us to the details.
Yes, the death toll is mounting continuously as days are progressing, and more details are coming out from the spot. Death toll is also mounting. Remember, earlier we had reported that we spoken to one of the DSP who is on duty, who is present at the spot, and he had confirmed that in one of the hospitals, 7 dead bodies has been brought in, or 7 persons they were brought in, and they were declared dead. At least 9 persons were admitted in that hospital. They have suffered injury. Several other injured persons, they are admitted in several other hospitals of Srikakulam, in and around Srikakulam. There are private hospitals where they have been taken to. There is one kidney specialized hospital where they are taken to. So now government of Andhra Pradesh and local administration is gathering more information and more detail about that in which hospital and how many persons are admitted, how many dead and how many injured and how many are receiving treatment, whether all those injured have any critical patient and whether he or she is required to shift to Visakhapatnam. So every information is being gathered by the local administration. So far, 5 deceased has been has been identified, in fact, by the district administration. So 5 persons who have died, their identification has been confirmed by the local administration. Further details and further verification is still on.
Absolutely. Stay on with us, Ashish. Let me bring in my colleague Uma as well. Uma, we're learning that 12 people have now lost their lives. The latest information we're gathering for you is that the death toll has risen after the stampede at the temple in Srikakulam in Andhra Pradesh. My colleague Uma with us. Uma, we're hearing the death toll has risen to 12 now.
In fact, the Health Minister Satya Kumar has put out information saying that there are 31 people who have been injured in that particular accident, and 15 of them are receiving treatment at the Palasa Community Hospital, and 16 others are being treated at the kidney center that is there nearby. And this is something that the government hospital superintendent and the officials are trying to ensure that the best possible treatment is given, because most of them it would have been either suffocation injuries or some kind of fracture injuries because of the kind of a stampede that ensued in that area. 12 deaths is a big number, and 35 people now reported to have been, suffered injuries and now admitted to hospital in Srikakulam. 2 of the hospitals that I have mentioned now, the stampede at the Palasa Kasibugga temple, where during the time that they were waiting, in fact, to get into the temple for in a queue for getting into the temple, that's when big numbers have gathered in that under construction area within the premises of the precincts of the temple, should I say, and that is where no information about the kind of security arrangements in order to stagger the crowds, that is something that seems to have been hugely missing, and leading to this very unfortunate accident that is now being, on which the Chief Minister, the Home Minister, the Health Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister, all of them have reacted. The Prime Minister also expressing shock at what happened at the Sri Venkateswara Temple at Palasa Kasibugga in Srikakulam district. This is a temple that has gathered a lot of prominence in recent years, only constructed not very many years ago, and that was actually meant to, in a sense, take off the load from the Tirupati temple, where every single day you have, at least 60,000 people going to visit the Venkateswara Swami temple for a darshan. But the arrangements that are there in a place like Tirumala for staggering, for advanced booking, and to ensure that crowds don't gather at the same time, that is something that is sorely missing here. Jagan Mohan Reddy, the opposition leader, actually blaming the government for it and calling it as a mistake of the administration for failing to provide security and failing to make arrangements for big numbers to happen there, and actually blaming the NDA government for what has happened. He has cited earlier instances that have happened, saying that whether it is a stampede at Simhachalam or a stampede at Tirupati itself that had resulted in 6 and 7 deaths respectively. He's saying that all that is just showing what he calls as poor administration by the government, and the government on its part defending itself, even as we are talking about relief being provided to those who are injured. providing them the best possible treatment, and also talking about investigation to pin the blame for this. But right now they are saying that no, we had no information about such big numbers gathering for this particular day, auspicious day of Ekadasi at the temple, and that's the reason why we were not able to make arrangements, and therefore now the investigation will zero in on who should take the blame. But right now the concern, of course, is to save those lives of those who have been injured in this particular tragic accident.
Right, thank you, Uma, for bringing us those details. Let me bring my colleague Ashish back in. Ashish, we're learning right now that the YSRCP Srikakulam District President Dharma Manakrishna Das has visited the temple where some of the injured have been admitted and had interacted with the victims of the stampede as well. And we're also learning that Minister Achanayudu and local MLA Srisha have assisted the injured at the accident site. Take us through more details as far as the officials on ground are concerned.
So official on ground, if we talk about the on-ground officials and ministers present on ground inquiring about the incident are Achanayudu, the senior most minister in Andhra Pradesh government, in Chandrababu Naidu government. He happens from the same Srikakulam district. He handles a portfolio of agriculture. He is also uncle of Ram Mohan Naidu, who is the MP of Srikakulam, who is also union minister. So Achanayudu is at spot. Apart from Achanayudu, TDP MLA Chita is also there. District administration, if we talk about district collector, district SP, local RDO, and several other district officials, they have reached there. Additional police forces has been deployed, or more and more assistance has been mobilized to provide better treatment to all those persons who are receiving treatment in different government hospitals. Like Satya Kumar, the health minister, has also informed that at least 13 persons they are injured and they are receiving treatment in different hospitals of Srikakulam. Death toll is mounting, and that's where government is concerned. Their whole effort is to provide better treatment to all those who have injured to stop any further escalation in death toll. But what we are learning that almost around a dozen persons have died. We have a confirmed identification of five deceased. Identification has been confirmed. Now death toll has further increased. It has increased to, and it has touched to 12. At least 31 persons are injured and they are admitted and they are undergoing treatment in different hospitals. By evening, we expect that Nara Lokesh, son of Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, who handles a portfolio of RTGS, HRD, IT and industry, he is also landing in Srikakulam.
Right, Ashish, the latest details, of course, we're tracking for you. Like my colleague Ashish was mentioning, is that the officials are currently at the ground. Nara Lokesh as well, having been rushed to the ground. Not just that, but at the moment we're learning that Achanayudu, the minister who's from Srikakulam, was in fact there assisting the injured at the temple. He was also joined by the MLA from Srikakulam. But YSRCP leader also having headed there for ensuring, for meeting with the injured at one of the hospitals. We're learning that 12 people have now died in this incident. We can confirm the death toll, which we are expecting will climb. 12 so far, we are learning, have died in this incident. 31 have been injured, 15 admitted to one hospital and 16 to another. We are learning at the moment that condolences, of course, pouring in. Home Minister Amit Shah as well had shared his condolences. Prime Minister Modi having shared his condolences as well. And the Prime Minister also announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees for the family of those who've lost their loved ones, and 50,000 rupees ex gratia for those who are injured in the incident. Questions are now being raised over the lapses at this particular temple. My colleague Ashish still with us. Ashish, now like we were mentioning, the lapses from the part of the private authorities of the temple are now in the center, and we're questioning why there wasn't adequate arrangement made for the crowd that was expected, especially on an occasion like Ekadashi.
Yes, you're absolutely right. In fact, government sources have also confirmed that the temple is being managed by a private authority, and private management, the temple management, in fact, hasn't informed to the local administration, as well as they haven't taken any kind of permission for this particular gathering and particular Ekadashi celebration event. And that's where this kind of gathering led to chaotic situation and further escalated into a stampede-like situation. And resulted into at least 12 deaths and at least 31 injured. Government is expected to announce inquiry in a thorough inquiry into the entire incident, entire episode, whether local administration failed to assess the situation, whether local administration failed to provide proper kind of permission or proper kind of assistance to this temple, whether temple authorities granted permission and it was denied, and despite the denial, they gathered and they organized the event. So everything is subject to investigation. But right now, what we have gathered from the government sources that the temple authorities, what government sources are confirming us, they haven't got any kind of permission. In fact, they haven't informed the government of Andhra Pradesh or the local Srikakulam administration about the gathering and celebration, and that led to the chaotic situation. That led to almost 20,000 people gathering in one place where construction was going on, and that further escalated into a stampede-like situation. That further escalated into at least 12 deaths and 31 injuries.
Right, and Ashish, if we're looking a bit into the lapses from the side of the temple administration, do we have any details on the action they took when the stampede occurred? Now, we know that there was no barricading, we know there was no crowd management at all, but Ashish, do we know if they had in fact tried to help the people at the moment of the stampede? Now, if we look at the visuals of the stampede, Ashish, we don't see anyone sort of helping them move or try to sort of ensure that there's a smooth movement of crowd. We only see people jumping onto the crowd below them, trying to save themselves. As far as the temple administration is concerned, we haven't heard anything from them as yet, Ashish.
Yes, so far we haven't heard anything from the temple administration. And what initially we've been informed about the incident by our local sources on ground. They informed us about the incident around 11:30, and since then we've been in touch with the local administration. In fact, like I earlier informed to our viewer and to everyone that local administration, both collector and SP, were unaware about any such gathering and any such incident. Once we informed both topmost or district official, then they started inquiring about the incident, and later on they got to know about the entire tragic incident. So temple authorities so far haven't reacted on the incident. Local administration was clueless or not aware about the incident. Now government authorities have informed us that since the temple management is a private organization and they manage temple privately, so their private organization didn't inform the local administration, and local administration failed to gather information about the gathering, and that led to this kind of situation. But right now, the entire machinery of government of Andhra Pradesh, the entire district administration focuses to provide all kind of medical assistance, all kind of any other assistance to all those who have suffered in this incident, in this tragic incident.
Right, Ashish. Of course, the latest details we're tracking for our viewers at the moment is that, like you mentioned, the administration has now rushed their ministers to the site. Nara Lokesh as well rushing to the incident spot. We've already seen Minister from Srikakulam already there, and the MLA from there, who was also present at the site helping the injured. We are learning that 31 people have been injured, 12 have unfortunately died, and of the 31 that have been injured, 15 have been admitted in one hospital and 16 in another hospital is what we're learning. The Prime Minister has announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees for the families of those who've lost their loved ones. The questions now being raised on why there were so many lapses from the side of the administration of the temple. Now, we are seeing, unfortunately, that there is politics that's playing out over this incident. We're seeing that Jagan Mohan Reddy had in fact questioned and called it a failure from the part of the government. But Pawan Kalyan, the Deputy CM of Andhra Pradesh, had in fact said that the temple is managed by private authorities and that an inquiry will be conducted into what exactly took place and who was responsible for the oversight and for the negligence at this particular temple. Now, Ashish, you mentioned that the incident took place at around 11:30 a.m. On Ekadashi. Now, if you could take us through a sequence of events, if you have an idea based on what you're hearing.
So the crowd started gathering since late night itself, and since early morning, the crowd strength further grew. And what we have gathered from the spot and from the local, that almost 20,000 people gathered, were present at the time of tragedy, at the time of incident. At around 10:30 to 11:30, in between 10:30 to 11:30, the crowd started facing difficulty, particularly women and children. They started facing difficulty in breathing and they started collapsing. They've been pulled out. Further, the crowd swelled and that led to a more chaotic situation and a stampede-like situation, and that further escalated into a death of at least 12 persons. District administration, since they were not aware about the gathering, they were not aware about this particular Ekadasi event. So police personnel were not present, medical assistance was not present at the spot, and local, whoever been there, they tried to pull out all those injured, all those women collapsing or children collapsing from the crowd, and they also tried to give them CPR, and they've been shifted to nearby hospitals, hospitals like a government hospital, kidney hospital, private hospital, different hospitals, they've been taken out. Once the administration got to know about the incident, they mobilized more and more ambulance, and then they started shifting more and more injured people, and they've been taken to different hospital, and where at least 12 have been declared dead, and at least 31 are undergoing treatment.
Right, stay on with us, Ashish. At the moment, I'm being joined by Professor Jyotsna, TDP spokesperson, as well as Lanka Dinakar, BJP spokesperson. Thank you for joining us. Let me first come to Professor Jyotsna. Now, we are learning at the moment that a control room has been set up, and like you mentioned earlier, the focus of the administration is first ensuring help to those who are injured and those who are looking for their loved ones, as well as trying to console the families who've lost their loved ones. If you could take us through what you're hearing as far as the ministers who've headed to the site as well.
First and foremost, condolences to the families, and in fact, we are all very much shocked, and it's a very, very unfortunate incident. There is, as of now, I don't think we can just comment on where things have gone wrong, because we absolutely don't know what has happened.
Right.
But our primary concern, primary motto, primary intention as of now lies to safeguard all the injured and immediately provide medical assistance to all of them, and also investigate the event and incident. Definitely that will happen. But first and foremost, we have to take care of all the injured and just see that there are no more casualties. There lies our primary concern, and all our ministers, in fact the local minister Shri Achanayudu Garu is on his way to the temple, and all the other ministers are also coordinating with all the officials there. All the officials are on the ground. Extra forces have been called on, so that we are just trying to take the situation under control first and then look at what went wrong, where it went wrong.